Whoa! Haha! Did I get you guys over there? Were you guys afraid? Hello everybody, and welcome to Year 5 Mathematics from iTTV. I'm Puyi, your tutor for today's lesson. Now, in the previous lesson, we learned about subtraction and solving problems with subtraction. I gave you some questions to try out on your own. Have you finished them? Now, let's go through the questions and check the answers together. Okay, now, let's go to the first question. 200,310 minus 56,794 minus blank equals to 24,307. Now, just imagine the first three numbers, okay? The first three numbers on the left, on the screen, which is now on the top row, if all these three numbers are part of a big biscuit, then the big biscuit is actually 24,307. If I can put it in a picture form, it will look like this. Yeah, now you see the big biscuit is made up of three parts. The missing number, let's call it R, and 56,794, and as well as 24,307. Now, how do we find R? We use subtraction. We take the amount, the full amount, which is the whole biscuit, minus the two parts that we've already known, the number. So, it's 200,310 minus 56,794 minus 24,307. That should give us the answer for the missing number, R. So when you minus the two numbers from 200,310, you should have it looking like this. And it should give you the answer 119,209. Just to check the answer, fill in this number into the equation. Fill it into the blank. And when you add them together, you should have the whole biscuit, 200,310. Yes, I hope you've gotten that correct. Now let's move on to the second question. What is added to 351,903 to make 720,000? Okay, now for this question, we can use the biscuit method again. Okay, let's imagine that there is a missing number. And when you add this missing number to 351,903, it should make up the whole biscuit, 722,000. So in picture form, it will look something like this. See? The whole biscuit is made up of two parts. One is the missing number, let's call it P. And the other one, that's the figure that we have already known, 351,903. So now, to get the missing portion, what do? Subtraction again. Yes? So, P will be equivalent to 720,000 minus 351,903. So when we write it in vertical form, we can solve this question. And we will know that the missing number, which is P, is 368,097. Just to check the answer, fill in this number to the equation again. Add this number to 351,903 and you should be able to get 720,000. That's great, everybody. Good job. I hope you guys are keeping up. Now, to question number 3. The population of town X is 49,020. From 2005 to 2007, 450 people passed away and 1,800 people shifted to other places. Calculate the population of town X in 2008. Now, let's understand the question first. We have the original number of the population, which is 49,020. Now, of this number, some of them passed away, and yet some other shifted to other places. So now the question wants us to find how many people are left in 2008. So what do? We take the original amount of the population minus off those who have passed away, and then we minus off again those who have shifted to other places. So it should look something like this. In 2008, the population is 49,020 minus 450 minus 1,800. And that should give us the population for year 2008, which is 46,770. That's the answer. Okay, great job everybody. Now, let's move on to the lesson for today. Oh, hi there everybody! Welcome back. You must be wondering what I have over here. Well, in each bag, I have 15 apples. If you were to ask me how many apples do I have over here, that will be 15 plus 15 plus 15 apples. Well, we can also do it by using multiplication. 15 times 3. That's 15 apples in 3 bags. Both will give us the same answer if you have 15 plus 15 plus 15 or 15 times 3. The answer is 45. Now, multiplication is the process of repeated addition. We have 15 plus 15 plus 15. Okay, that's multiplication, a process of repeated addition. Today, we will be learning more about multiplication. Now, there are 3 things you should remember. Number 1, changing the order of the numbers multiplied do not change the answer or the product. For example, if I have 50 times 6, that's 300, right? It is the same as 6 times 50, which also gives us 300. Now, the second thing to remember is any number multiplied by 1 gives us the number itself. For example, now the second thing to remember is any number multiplied by 1 gives us the number itself. For example, if I have 15 apples in 1 bag, 15 minus 1 gives us 15, the number itself. The third thing to remember is any number multiplied by 0 gives us 0. If I have 15 apples in 1 bag, multiplied by 0, that means no bag, nothing. That gives me 0. Okay, got the 3 things down? Now, let's try out some exercises. Okay, now everybody, let's try out some questions with multiplication. The first question for you is, multiply 52,738 by 6. Now, we have learned in Year 4 Mathematics how to multiply. Let's try this out using the vertical form. Okay, now from the question, we have 52,738 multiply by 6. Now, what's 8 times 6? 48. 6 and 3, 18. Plus 4 gives us 22. 7 and 6, 42 plus 2, that gives us 44. 6 and 2 gives us 12 plus 4, 16. 6 and 5 gives us 30. Plus 1 gives us 31. Now, this is the answer for 52,738 times 6. The answer for multiplication is also called a product. So if you are required to find the product of 2 numbers, remember the operation is multiply. Right? Now, let's try the second question. Multiply 19,847 by 15. So now from the question, we have 19,847 multiplied by 15. So let's look at the ones first. Multiply 5. 5 times 7, 35, 3, 4 times 5, 20, plus 3, 23, 8 plus 5, 40, plus 2, 42, 9 times 5, 45, plus 4, 49, 4 over here, 1 times 5, 5, plus 4, 9. Now, then we cover the 1. Now, at the place of tens, we have number 1. Now, do you still remember what I said just now? Any number multiplied by 1 should give us the same number, the number itself. Okay? So now, since this is at the place of tens, so we have no ones. Okay? Now, 1 times 7, 7. 1 times 4, 4. 1 and 8. 1 and 9. Yes, it should give us the same number. Now, we add both together. 5, 10, 7, 17. Pairs of 10 over here. 1 and 9. Okay. Now, so our answer over here is 297,705. This, we also call it as the product of these two numbers. Okay? Now, I want you to take a look over here. Do you realize that this number, it is actually the product of 19,847 and 5? And this line over here, it's the product of these two numbers. 1947 times 10. Actually, when we plus 5 and 10, we get 15. That is the number over here. So, if you're not familiar with the vertical form, you can also break down the number to the factors. We call this the factors, 5 and 10. When we add both of these two factors together, we should get the number over here. Okay? Now, let's try and use another method, which is called lattice multiplication. Now, I'm going to copy down the question on this table. Okay? So we have 19,847 and times 15. So 15 I'm going to write here on the side. Let's try the top row first. What's 7 times 1? 7. So we're going to write the ones at the bottom, and this is for the tens. So we have 0 tens and 7 here. 4 times 1 gives us 4. Nothing over here. 8 times 1 gives us 8. Nothing over here again. 9 times 1 gives us 9. 0. 1 times 1 gives us 1. Okay? You follow so far? Now let's try the second row. Do the same thing. 7 times 5 gives us 35. Now we write 3 over here and 5 here. 35. 4 and 5, 20. 8 and 5, 40. 9 and 5, 45. 1 and 5 gives us 5. 0. Now, after we have filled in all the numbers, we are going to add up according to the columns, diagonally. Okay, so 5, we just copy it down. What's 3 plus 7? Pairs of 10, remember? So we have 10 here. So 0, and we're going to write the one, a small one, tiny one over here. 4 plus 2, 6 plus 1, 7. Now, 8 plus 4, 12 plus 5, 17. 1 over here. 9, 4, 5, and 1. Okay, 9 and 1, that's pair of 10 for us over here. 19. A small one over here. 1 and 1 gives us 2. So the answer we have is 297,705, which is the same answer. Okay, so this lattice multiplication is another way that you can use to check your answer. Now, Pretty simple, isn't it? Now we are going to try something more fun. Multiplying numbers with 10, 100 and 1000. Now, it is not as difficult as you think it is. Now, look at this question. Multiply 523 by A, 10, B, 100 and C, 1000. Okay, some pretty big numbers over there, but it's pretty easy. Okay, let's try A. Okay, 523 times 10. Okay, whenever you multiply a number with 10, just copy down the original number, 523, add a 0. See, there's 1 0 over here. Just add 1 0 to the back. And that's the answer. Pretty simple, right? How about if you multiply the number with 100? Let's try. 523 multiply by 100. Okay, just follow the same rule. Copy down the figure first. 523. Okay, multiply by 100. 100 has how many zeros? 2. Okay, 1, 2. So we just add 2 zeros to the back. Ta-da! The answer! Now, C. The question wants us to find the product between 523 and 1000. Now 1000 has 3 zeros. So we copy down the number first. Okay, I'll write it down over here. 523, 1, 2, 3. And I'm gonna add 3 zeros to the back. That's the answer. 523,000. Pretty easy, right? Okay, now we are going to recap more of these later in the problem-solving segment. Now let's try the first problem-solving question. Take a look. A printing factory prints 24,246 books in a day. How many books does the factory print in a week? Okay, now problem solving, the first step for us to do is to understand the question. Okay, so now it says that the printing factory prints how many books in one day? The printing factory prints, yes, 24,246. Now, I'm going to write it over here in one day. Okay, printing factory prints 24,246 books. The question wants us to find how many books are printed in 1 week. So, 1 week. How many days do we have in 1 week? 7 days. Okay, so in 7 days, how many books do we have? Okay, now we know that 1 day we have this number. So for 7 days, we have to take this number and add it 6 more times. Okay, that means we have 7 times of 24,246. Remember the bags of apple? When we have 15 bags, it's 15 plus 15 plus 15. It is also the same as 15 times 3. So now, we shall take this number for 1 day, 24246, multiply by 7. Okay. Now, 6 times 7, 42. 4 times 7, 28 plus 4 gives us 32. 2 and 7, 14 plus 3, 17. 4 and 7, 28 plus 1, 29. 2 and 7, 14 plus 2, 16. Okay. So now, this is the answer that we have. In 1 week, the printing factory prints 169,722 books. But just to be sure, let us check the answer using lattice multiplication. Still remember how do we use the lattice multiplication? Okay, now we fill in the answer. Sorry, the question. 2, 4, 2, 4, 6 times 7. Now we are only going to use one row, okay? So 7 times 6, 42, 4 and 7, 28, 2 and 7, 14, 4 and 7, 28. This will give us 14. Now, let's add the numbers diagonally. 2, we just copy it down. 4 plus 8 gives us 12. A small one over here. 2 plus 4, 6 plus 1, 7. 8 and 1, 9. 2 plus 4, 6 and 1 gives us 1. So the answer is the same, 169,722. That means our answer is correct. We have checked the answer. Okay, now it's time for Brain Teaser! Now, let's take a look at this question, the brain teaser that I've prepared for you. There are 12 candles burning in a room. When the fan blows out 3 candles, you quickly switch it off. If the candles take 2 hours to burn out completely, how many candles do you have left? 12 candles. 9 still burning. 3 have been snuffed out. So if the candles take 2 hours to burn completely, how many will you still have left at the end? Think hard, everybody. How many candles would you have left at the end? You got your answer? Are you sure the answer is correct? Now, what is your answer? Is it 9? Yes, 9? Unfortunately, that's not the answer. The correct answer should be 3 candles. Why is there only 3 candles? Well, read the question carefully. How many candles do you have left at the end? So, if you have 12 candles and 9 are burning and 3 are not burning, after 2 hours, the 9 candles would have finished burning. Everything would have been burned out. So you have actually 3 candles left standing. Okay, that was a question to test your critical thinking and observation skills. Moving on to our next segment, I have some questions for you to try at home. Grab your pen and paper ready? Got it down already, everybody? Now let's copy the first question. Multiply 496 by A, 5, B, 10, C, 100, and D, 1000. Quickly, gotten the number down? 496 and 5, 10, 100, and 1000. Okay? Now, try this at home. I have a second question for you. Visitors to the Science Center increases by 3 times on Sunday compared to any other day. On Monday, 8,450 visitors came. How many visitors are there on Sunday? Let me repeat. Visitors to the Science Center increases by 3 times on Sunday compared to any other day. On Monday, 8,450 visitors came. How many visitors are there on Sunday? Okay. Now, the third and the last question. A pizza restaurant delivers 2,451 pieces of pizza every day. How many pieces of pizza does it deliver in May? Let me repeat. A pizza restaurant delivers 2,451 pieces of pizza every day. How many pieces of pizza does it deliver in May? Here's a hint for you. Count the days in May. How many days are there in May? Okay, that should help you to answer this question. Okay, everybody, we've come to the end of today's lesson. Let's recap. Today, we learned about multiplication and solving problems with multiplication. When we multiply, we use two methods. The first one, the vertical form. The second one, lattice multiplication. When we multiply a number with 10, we add a 0 to the back. When we multiply a number with 100, we add 2 zeros to the back. And we multiply a number with 1000, we add 3 zeros to the back. Pretty simple ones. Now, in the next lesson, we will be learning about division. So be sure you tune in. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.